What the heck going on in America, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Food for Thought with me, Lady Glow, and Little Glow is in school. So anyway, I wanted to come on here today just to kind of speak off the cuff. And the topic that I decided to go with is, have you ever felt in life, what is your purpose? Were you a mistake? Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Like, was I a mistake? What's the purpose of my life? Why am I here? What is the meaning? What is all this about? Um, I don't know if you have, but I have. So anyway, before we get started, I would love it if you guys would smash the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So anyway, before I get started, again, I've had those questions in my life where I battled with, you know, why am I here? What is this all about? Was I a mistake? What is my purpose? And so forth. And so I'm hoping that after this video that maybe someone could, be a little at ease, um, and know that you do matter and you do have a purpose and God does have a plan for your life and you are important. It doesn't matter where you have been. It doesn't matter what you have done. You have a purpose in this life and God loves you regardless of what you have done, regardless of what you've been through. He loves you. So anyway, I want to share a devotional out of the Destined to Reign book by Pastor Joseph Prince. I'm actually going to read yesterday's devotional, which was the 19th. Then I'm going to go ahead and read the one for today. So anyway, give me 1 second. The title of yesterday's devotional was Jesus Understands Your Struggles. So in Hebrews 4:15, it says, "For we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weaknesses, but was in all points tempted as we are, yet without sin." Imagine meeting the new politician who is to represent your district or neighborhood, only to discover that he is not familiar with your neighborhood's needs and problems. You will wonder, can this guy really represent us? Does he know anything about our living conditions? Is he familiar with the various challenges that families here are facing? Can he help me get my children into one of those schools here? I am sure that you would prefer someone who truly understands your challenges to represent you. In the same way, I am so glad that right now, at the Father's right hand, we have someone who came as a man to redeem us and who fully understands what man goes through. When Jesus walked on earth, he went through every human emotion so that he could identify with us in all points. Jesus is God, but he is in the Father's presence as a man representing us. My friend, you may feel that no one understands your struggles. Listen, while this may be true of man, it is not true of Jesus. He knows exactly what you are going through, and he can sympathize with your weaknesses because he was in all points tempted as we are, yet without sin. None of us have been tempted in all points, but God allowed Jesus to be tempted in all points, so that he can understand and identify with the struggles of every single person on this earth. He can be touched by our humanity, our weaknesses, tears, disappointments, griefs, all points. There is no trial, difficulty, challenge, or temptation that you face that Jesus cannot identify with. My friend, the moment you go through it, right there, and then he feels it too. That is the kind of representative you have in Jesus. That is the love of God, so that you will draw near to his throne of grace. No judgment. To find mercy and grace in time of need. Hebrews 4:15 through 16. Thought for the day: there is no trial, difficulty, challenge, or temptation that you face that Jesus cannot identify with. That was the devotional for yesterday, January 19th. And now I'm going to go ahead and read the devotional for today, January 20th. It's titled, The Answer for a Guilty Conscience. And we all have battled with guilt in our conscience, and some of us, we have allowed it to consume us so much that we either you know we just went on the dark path, and we turned to either drugs or alcohol or whatever we use to kind of suppress those feelings or cope with the guilt that we was dealing with. We all have battled with it, and I'm hoping that by me reading this devotional of the answer for a guilty conscience, this will help anyone who's battling with guilt. So anyway, as I said, today, January 20th, the title of this devotional is The Answer for a Guilty Conscience. Hebrews 9:14. How much more shall the blood of Jesus, who through the eternal Spirit, how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, cleanse your conscience from dead works to serve the living God? Have you heard the voice of your conscience saying things like, you deserve hell for the sins you committed against your spouse 3 years ago? Or why are you surprised that your child is not talking to you? You were never around when he needed you. There are people who feel depressed all the time because of a sense of guilt, and they pay for their sins in terms of illnesses. In fact, doctors are discovering that many psychosomatic, if I'm pronouncing that right, sicknesses are caused by guilt and condemnation, because the conscience is saying, you have done wrong, you must be punished. How can you sin? How can your sin not be punished? That is why you must have an answer that will satisfy your conscience. When your conscience says you have sinned, you must be punished for this sin, or else God is not a just God. You say, yes, I have sinned, but this sin and every other sin that I have committed were punished to the maximum in the body of Jesus Christ. So there remains no more punishment for me today. For how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offer himself without spot to God, cleanse my conscience? My friend, the only way to bring peace to your conscience is to look to the cross. The cross of Jesus is the only answer that will satisfy your conscience. So the next time your conscience condemns you because of sin, don't try to silence it with your good works. Look to the cross and say, Father, thank you for Jesus and the cross. Jesus was totally condemned on my behalf for this sin, so there is now absolutely no condemnation left for me. Then your conscience will look at the cross and say, ha, peace, my friend. Jesus' finished work at the cross truly sets me free. Thought for the day. The cross of Jesus is the only answer that will satisfy your conscience. Whew. And if that ain't a breath of fresh air, I don't know what is. So anyway, as I said earlier in the video, I battled with those same thoughts. Why am I here? Was I a mistake? What is all of this? My life has no meaning. But I'm telling you, at 56 years of age, it took me so long and so many ups and downs and backwards and forwards, and to realize that I'm important and my life does matter, and I'm here for a reason. I'm here by the grace of God. In all actuality, I should not be here. So if you're battling thoughts of, I was a mistake, no one on the face of this earth is a mistake. Do not allow the enemy, whether it's through family, whether it's through friends, whether it's through your spouse, to make you feel that you were a mistake, that you don't matter, that you're not important, that you're not loved. Because I'm telling you, you are. And most importantly, you're loved by the most important being in this world, and that's God. He put us here for a reason. You have a calling, whether you have realized that or not. As you begin to look to him, however that may look like to you, even if it's just a whisper or you know, just sitting alone and just talk to him. And I'm telling you, he will answer you. It might not be immediately at that moment, but his love will begin to saturate your spirit, and you will begin to realize that, yeah, I'm important. It doesn't matter what anyone out in the world says. It only matters what he says and how he sees you and how he views you. And I'm not going to say that everything in your life is going to be easy peasy, because that would be just, it wouldn't make sense to even make anyone, you know, think that, because life is not easy. And it says in his word that he didn't promise us that everything will be a bowl of cherries. We're going to go through ups and downs. We're going to go through struggles. We're going to have difficult times. But if you know that he's there to walk you through, to see you through, his strength will carry you through, it makes things a lot easier to kind of deal with. You know what I mean? So anyway, shut off those voices. And sometimes it's hard because, you know, your mind gets bombarded by a lot of different thoughts, or someone says something and it sticks. Like, words can hurt. So, you know, and it messes with your insecurity, and you start questioning things of that nature, of who you are, and But I'm telling you, it is possible to be able to get up in the morning and look in the mirror and love the person who's looking back at you, which is yourself. It is possible. It is possible. It is possible. I'm here to tell you it is possible. And I'm trying every bit not to get emotional, because I know what it's like to battle with insecurities, to, battle with thoughts of just wanting to just end my life. Like, there's no point. There's no, I went through the struggles of, single parenting and homelessness, and I went through the struggles of just being disgusted with who I was. And, it was because of a lot of life trauma and, a lot of abuse and things like that, that made me even question the fact that maybe I was a mistake. And, I found out, at 20-something years old, I was almost 30, I think, when I found out that the man who raised me was not even my dad, And then when I did find my real dad, that was even more traumatizing, because I was not accepted, because his wife didn't care for me, so to speak, because of the history of my biological dad and my mother. So that was even more traumatizing. That made me question the fact of, what in the heck am I here for? Like, why do I even exist? Like, I had to be a mistake, finding out the dad who raised me is not my dad, and then finding my biological dad and not really feeling a part, because, I was the child outside of his relationship with his wife and his 5 kids, that, I'm basically an outcast coming in to an already established family, even though in reality I was a part of it, because I was his child. So, excuse me, I battled with that. And, it took years, and it's still a process. The Lord is still continually, healing me all of the past trauma. But I'm here to just tell you that it's possible to be able to love who you are and accept who you are, and not battle with condemnation and guilt, and not feel that insignificant, or not feel that you're not important, not feel that you were a mistake. It's possible to be able to just have that peace that only comes through knowing Jesus Christ to fill your heart. So, as I said, if there's anyone out there that's battling, within themselves, or questioning themselves whether or not they matter, whether or not they're important, trust and believe you matter. And it doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter your nationality, doesn't matter what you have done. You are important, because all things do come easy when you rest in the love of Christ for you. And that's all that matters, is his love for you, knowing that, he doesn't judge you, because your sins were already judged in his body when he went to the cross. It was done. It was over. So turn the thoughts off, which can sometimes be a challenge, to turn those thoughts off, and just pick up his word and just learn of him. Because as you learn of him, the more you learn of him, the more you'll see yourself through his eyes. And I have another book that's really good too, that I want to just encourage anyone who might be battling with thoughts and insecurities. This is another great book too. The Power of Right Believing by Pastor Joseph Prince. I would encourage you to get this book and read this book too, because this book, oh my God, this book is helping me in ways that I can't even begin to explain. You got to go out and get it for yourself, and just start somewhere. Even if you don't understand. Again, I'm going to continually say this. I am not here to push my beliefs on anyone. I'm not here to come against anyone's beliefs or anyone's religion preference. I'm only here to share Christ with anyone who is willing to listen, because he has made such a difference in my life. He has brought me through so many trials. I can't even begin to tell you, but as I continually share and open up, there's other things that I'm going to share about my life and things that I've been through. But I'm telling you, just give him a chance. And I'm telling you, your life will never ever be the same. And that's for anyone who is willing. If this is not for you, then it's not for you. We all have a right to believe whatever we choose to believe in our life. That's the good thing about Jesus, and that's the good thing about freedom. We have the freedom and the choice to believe in whatever works for us, whether I agree, whether the next person agrees, or whether we don't agree. It's your preference, it's your choice, it's your life, and no one should come against anyone's religious preference or beliefs. It's your life, and you have the right to live your life the way you desire to live it without anyone judging or pointing a finger. And so, like I said, I'm not here to come against anyone's religious beliefs. I'm only here to share Jesus with you. Whether you accept it or not, that's your choice, that's your opinion. I'm only here to just share, you know, my testimony and how good he's been in my life. And so, with that note, I really do hope that this quick little video blessed someone, encouraged someone, maybe shined a little light. I don't know if I kind of explained everything right, but I speak from my heart, and I hope that someone was blessed by it. But all I'm saying is this: don't let your past dictate your future or define who you are, because your past doesn't dictate your future. People's opinion don't define who you are as a person. And just come to the realization that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks of you. It only matters that your life is important. Even if you don't see it right now or you don't understand it, your life is important. And it's not worth other people's opinions of you. It's not worth your mental health being affected by words. You know what I'm saying? So again, I hope you was blessed by this, and just look to him. Just look to him, go to him, and just have an open heart when you do. Like, even if you kind of like don't understand everything and you're kind of like wondering whether or not is this real or not real, or is this some type of fairy tale, because some people feel that way. Just be willing to have an open heart and go to him for yourself, and see how he comes to you and reveals himself to you, because he is a loving God and he loves you so much. And he's not looking at what you did yesterday, what you did 10, 20 years ago. He's looking at your heart. And if you are willing to just have an open heart to let him in, I'm telling you, he will come in and he will change you. And when you look back, you'll be like, oh my God. So on that note, as I said, just know that you are important, that you do matter, and you are not a mistake. And with that, again, I hope someone was encouraged and blessed by this. And leave some comments, down below, things that maybe you have been struggling with, that you've kept things inside, that you were unable to talk to anyone about. Leave some comments down below, and share those things. I'm not telling you to like get deep and all in, but if there's some things that you have been battling with that you would like prayer for, or that you would just need to talk to someone to get it out, leave comments. And again, please like the channel and subscribe and share, and just all I would say is just let the peace of God consume your heart, and close your ears to the lies, and open your mind and your heart to the truth of who you are, and that's you are loved, you are important, and that you matter. So anyway, on that note, thank you for those people who have subscribed to the channel, and I would say have a blessed day. Grace to you. Peace to the Middle East and the South America and the XYZs. See you in the next video, guys.